want nobody, and I don't want nobody. You got that right, and I don't want nobody.
Welcome to another installment of the Move. You know what? I was thinking about doing a little intro of like an old show or something like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Lives in the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side.
So we're joined by Bones himself. Say hi to the world, Bones.
Hello.
You got to say hi to the world, like I said. Don't you say hi to the world.
Hello, world. How you doing?
Godzilla has rejoined us. I don't know if he wants to go by a new name today, but say hello, Godzilla. I've heard some. Yeah, you're gonna have to. It was my birthday this week, so I didn't really do anything with news this much this week. So I heard little stuff here and there, but I'm not really caught up on anything. But we'll get to that after I do the few other things I want to talk about. You didn't see Get Out, did you?
I did see Get Out.
All right, we can all talk about it. Did you go with us? You did go with us.
I actually did.
You just faded into the night there, right? You were there, but it's like you weren't there.
It's because I'm
like
black.
we're invisible, like me.
You said it's because you're black, so the lights went out, and then that was it?
Yes, once those lights come down.
You know? This is why you can't be black, guys, because, you have to do
Whoa, that's an advantage.
Do tell how that's an advantage. Go, you're up.
The world owes you something.
You see, and that's when you have a problem. You walk around with this chip on your shoulder like the world owes you something, and then you don't get what you want, and you have an attitude problem.
The world owes you everything. We're the breaking blocks of mankind.
And then you get
it was first they were black, and then there was albino, and then we call that white now.
What the hell? Okay, so that movie Get Out, right? Everybody's like, oh, there's this big hype around this movie, and everybody's like, oh, you can see it. You got Rotten Tomatoes stayed at 100 forever, and it's just fantastic. Everybody, go see it. So I went to see it, and you saw it, right? I just want to make sure. Okay, so so. There was the hype was built up around it, so I was like really excited. This is gonna, this is gonna be my shit. This is gonna be the mind blowing. I'm gonna walk out of there like, oh shit, you know what I mean? But I didn't do that. I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed. There might be some spoilers in here for this movie, so if you don't want to get spoiled, don't.
Skip to whatever.
There's two people that are listening. You might want to tune out.
Yeah, you might want to tune out. Yeah. So the hype, I was excited to see it and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't. I didn't come out of there like mind blown. I wasn't like, oh shit, this is crazy. I'm gonna be, But it was really, really good. Like for horror movies nowadays, you don't really get like scared. But this one was more psychological and it made you like, what the? And so this sort of stuff kind of does happen though. Where you go out and, you get fucking abducted. And they might not be doing brain fucking transfers, but who knows these days? Fucking rich people.
I feel like the horror movies are like, scary movies in general, I feel like they're dead in general. But when you have like Split and Get Out now, two good movies of the year,
I didn't see Split yet, so don't kill me.
I'm not going to spoil Split, but I'm saying it's like, scary is like things that can actually happen nowadays. It's like being abducted or... Twice in both movies, you're abducted. You guys should know that.
Your mom talks about that. She doesn't like movies that are realistic, like that stuff that can actually happen.
Like Silence of the Lambs, she would not watch because she doesn't want to see things that potentially can and do happen. She's not a horror fan anyway, but watching Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, that's a little different.
I had this nephew, right? He, there was one time he was at my house. And I think he was watching a horror movie because I came home and, true story.
I recall that.
I came home, he was there by himself. I came home and my door was wide open and, his shoes were still there. Probably together, because I don't know why that it just runs in the family. They just stay together.
Yes.
I get hit by a car, my shoes land
Very,
together
very
across
much.
the street.
Yes, very much.
So the shoes are together. So I'm like, what the? Did he just get? Did aliens come and pull him up into the sky? What kind of shit? So that was. So I'm like,
leave the door open if that was the case.
right. So it's like,
then
okay.
you go to, okay, did somebody break into the house?
So
Something
yeah. So I'm
happened?
like, what the hell kind of shit is it? What? So I finally get a hold of him after wondering what the fuck happened. He just said he woke up and got scared and ran away. Did that really happen, folks? That he ran away?
Who is this?
Well, you know,
Who is this
we
guy,
don't. We're
man?
he happens to be in the studio with us today.
Is that Bones?
Bones did that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know what. This is your chance to tell the world what the fuck happened with there. Because I to this day,
There's nothing more to say. You
he
already told me.
he just woke up, started looking around. He's like, nope, I'm out.
You were living in the basement of a house.
Exactly, you know.
So you didn't know you were in the basement
You can't-
when you went to sleep. You didn't know you were in the basement. So
You can't
was
be in
younger.
the
Yeah,
basement.
I know. We leave him alone.
Thank you, George. You know, we appreciate you.
Hey, hold on. So
You
what
know,
what's
Electric
your-
heater, furnace, noises,
Fish
screaming,
tanks.
fish tank,
Yeah,
Yeah, you
bugs.
know, pretty much, you know, you can't be in the basement all alone by yourself at a young age, and then your uncle has a bunch of these, you know, scary ass action figures there and all that. And
Oh,
stuff, you know, casting spells. And shit,
so it's
you know?
it's your uncle's fault that you ran away and left your shoes there and my door unlocked.
It's the environment. I'm not gonna let you guys.
It is if you look
Yeah,
down
on
man.
Bones, like,
Yeah,
for
black people stay together.
I'm
man.
blind.
What am I not black?
Whoa,
What the hell
whoa.
is this shit?
You
I am
know?
not black. I'm blonde hair.
Oh, I forgot, man. I'm so sorry.
Did you leave
man.
that alien from
Jeez.
'94 out for him to see?
I did that on purpose. I probably shouldn't bring that up. That's terrible. No, I don't think I might have had it. I probably did have it actually. That fucked me up. Shit.
What?
One of my other friends, his son was terrified of this alien I had from Independence Day, and it made noise and stuff. And if you even went near that thing, he would die and run away.
The alien from '94 had multiple tentacles and the skull split open.
Mm-hmm.
It had a motion sensor on it, so John had the battery in it working. So you would go by it, and the thing would start making noise. It would start squealing, and the face would split open. Most 2, 3, 4-year-olds would run in terror from this thing. So that happened to our friend's son a couple of times. He was terrified of it. So all John had to do was just look at the thing. With
And
him and
he was
point
out.
to it.
He was done for the day. And like he was done. But yeah, so what the fuck?
You moved the mouse.
Oh, I thought he lost fucking power. Screensaver came on. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
That's where I was at. I'm like, that's not
Thank God we got the tech guy here. You know. All right. Anyway, so you know, so right, so the movie it was like, this is different.
Mouse wiggling here in the house.
Oh God, please don't. That's the end of the podcast. We'll see you guys. No, it was different. The ending was surprising. And you know, usually certain people don't live, and they did in this movie. certain types don't live, and they did. But what did you think of?
Oh yeah, so I was saying, what made the movie good is it was scary, and it wasn't just scary. Scary movies these days have little girls. They have the same tropes. She's a devil, or she has something possessed, or little boys is possessed, and they try to scare you from that aspect, scary paranormal activity and all that bullshit. And it doesn't work anymore. It's like it's old. Like, and what this movie does differently is like it puts you in a real situation. And it puts you something we don't know anything about. We don't know anything about that brain transfusion.
You know what? I think what's happened is now that everyone has access to the internet, young people have become desensitized to that sort of stuff. Because when you and I are going to see a movie, we're not seeing anything like that. You know, so when we see some shit, you know, with these paranormal things and you know Freddy Krueger and all that kind of shit, we're fucked up. You know what I mean? At a young age, seeing that shit. You know, so it's like now it's just commonplace now. So you really got to take it a step further to try to, you know, grasp that crowd of, you know, that horror crowd, you know?
Yeah,
Yes.
but what it does, it scares you because you don't know if that is possible. If what's happening in the movie is very possible. Someone kidnapping you and transferring part of their brain into your brain and you're trapped in your own body while they live your life. That's scary.
It's scary.
That's actually scary.
Movie producers and television producers will tell you have won when you have audience participation. So when you're watching Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy and you're yelling at the screen and not getting the answer, they've won. They've sucked you in.
Yes.
This movie does the same thing. They've put you in a situation where you're identifying with the people in the movie. You have a guy telling the guy in the movie, hey, I think you're going to a bad situation. He's not fully listening. He's not paying attention. All the stuff that people would complain about and say, well, why wasn't it
That's
said?
clever.
Why
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
that done?
true.
They put all those metaphors and all of those things there as a viewing audience for you to enjoy, and you get a payoff at the end of the movie also as a viewing audience. You're like, screw this, I'd be the hell out of here. The guy gets the hell out of here.
As soon as he finds out, she lied to him. He was like, all right, that was the last straw. I'm gone. He didn't try to investigate. That was one guy I was happy about.
Which one of the family members was the scariest for you?
I would say the mom.
Hold on. We'll get back to it. What do you think?
The scariest, yeah, probably as presented was the mom.
Yeah, what about you? Do you think the mom was? Who do you think was the scariest?
I would say the mom was the weirdest and stuff.
Weirdest?
Yeah.
Well, the mind control, hypnotism aspects of it are absolutely terrifying because, I mean, that stuff has been proven that you can do it. I don't know if it's on that level, but you could definitely hypnotize people and, have them have a certain level of triggers happening, like with the thing with the cup she was doing. So it was interesting because they had, like, what's your blonde fuck today? That's your name today?
Yeah, I'm blonde.
Blonde moron?
Blonde
Blonde twat. He pointed out they had different steps of how they wanted to capture him. The first one, you can.
Oh yeah. So okay. So if I watched the movie twice, 2 times, not 3 times. I watched the movie twice, right?
That's what twice means.
And the beginning of the movie, you can the father suggested he does hypnotism, right? And
for the cigarette smoking.
Yeah, for the cigarette smoking.
Yep, I thought that.
So when he said no, I don't think so, the mom he tapped out, and so the mom after she asked him about his past, and when she started talking about his past, he started shaking a little bit, and she found out about the cigarette thing, whatever. But she tapped the glass 3 times when he started talking about, like, she brought it up. So like that.
Hold on, was that at the table?
Yeah, that was.
She tapped the glass at the table
3 times.
I missed that.
Yeah, it was so it's easy to miss, but if you watch it again, you're like, whoa.
Well, I saw her tap, but it didn't mean anything to me.
Right.
Yeah, it was like ding, ding, ding.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that.
It's like, whoa. I mean, it's like a second watching makes you think about everything. It's like, how many people tried this? So the father tried. So the mom stepped in. And she's like, okay, I'm going to try it now. Since he didn't do that, I'm going to try a psychological way. And then the brother comes home because he just shows up and he's like, oh, so dad, you tried already. You already had your chance. Because when he's like, get up, he's like, have you did MMA? And the son specializes in physical contact.
That is funny. The son was feeling him out by asking him those questions about the MMA and all that kind of stuff. He's like,
yes,
you're not actually dangerous, right? He's like basically what he's asking him.
So he goes behind him and he's like, let me put him in hell. If you put him in hell, they could just skip all those steps. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the mother was like, no, it's my turn. You basically she's like, stop.
The funny thing is when he got up in the middle of the night and went to go smoke whatever, and the mother caught him off guard like that. If he didn't want to, I don't know. I guess I would have been like, stop tapping that cup. You know what I mean? There's certain things that I just wouldn't have done if I didn't want to be.
But it's one of those things where, like, he's in a situation where she has the power, and he's like in her house. So he's like, wait. She's like, he doesn't really understand what's going on.
That's true.
She's like, his idea of hypnotism from the beginning, what he explained was him moving the clock back and forth.
Everybody.
So he doesn't. You can tell he didn't know fully what was going on. So at the same
time, I'm just saying, if I don't want to be somebody getting in my head, there's no way I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with somebody that's what they do.
But he didn't know that was happening. She was trying. She was like
presented so that he didn't even realize what was taking place.
That's true. But late at night, and the questions she's asking are very probing questions, and it's like, that's freaking crazy.
But
how
she has charisma. Like her charisma.
I understand that. I'm just saying, if my guard is up, I'm not getting in that situation.
I mean, but
maybe,
like, we're looking at a different.
I guess I have to be in it to really.
Yeah, we're looking at a different point of view. Like, if you came to your girlfriend's or boyfriend's house, and her mom questions you, you're not gonna be like, "I'm getting away from you, bye." You're gonna be like, "Hey, what's up? Ha ha ha." You asking me a question.
There's a way of doing it without being rude, but I get your point.
Well taken.
Yeah, so it. Yeah, I thought the movie was really, really. I was surprised. I didn't know what it was about. I knew nothing going in.
You didn't quite have the visceral reaction you thought you might from all the hype you heard.
Yes.
Going in, although I did see a movie this week that you did have that reaction.
Oh yeah, Logan was. Whoa. You didn't see it. I'm assuming you didn't see it. Well, we can just speak without giving spoilers. But what did you think about that movie, Logan, compared to what's done in the past? I mean, we did the same thing with Star Wars, but. I don't want to, because I sort of kind of did this with Star Wars, where I kind of jumped on the hype. I was like, wow, this is amazing. But I still did think about the older movies and all that kind of stuff. I really should go back and watch before I make a decision. But there's a change happening where they're really embracing this R-rated type of stuff, and I think people will have a better appreciation for realism as opposed to pandering to young people. And, you know, because when you do that, you have a broader audience. But like Deadpool is an example of that stuff works.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fox did it two times in a
There's
row
an
now.
audience for it.
Fox did it. I don't know about two.
Well, as I said
times
at the time, I'm excited that you had that reaction because I felt very jaded in the last 5, 10, 15 years. That it felt like I've seen everything already. They've done it all. I've lived through the different ages of the effects getting better and better. And they hit a point like, well, they can't really get any better. I mean, unless switch into virtual reality or something. But I'm excited that you come out of these recent movies that we like and you're really hyped about them. Because I almost feel terrified to feel that way about stuff. Because I feel like I'm going to get too excited and I'm going to get let down. So I like going into stuff, not having expectation, but being thrilled. But I can verify for you, for Logan certainly, more so than I felt with Star Wars, just because of my experience the way I watched it. I thought Logan was very well done and deserves.
The only movie that comes close to that movie for me, and I think Logan's better, is those Captain America movies. And it doesn't say that I don't like some of these other superhero movies more, or because I'm, you know, just biases and things that I have. But I don't like Wolverine. I don't like Captain America. They do zero for me.
They don't. Not for me.
So
either.
for me to be using those movies as an example of really great superhero movies, that really says something. Because they do zero for me.
That is exactly my point I've made to people. I'm like, I'm not an Iron Man fan. Well, I shouldn't say was. I'm not an Iron Man. Didn't care about Iron Man. Didn't really care about Thor because he was always beating Hulk. I didn't appreciate that.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Thor's powerful.
Yeah,
Thor's
but
very powerful.
The Hulk
Captain America, but all of what the points are being made that
They made
these are characters that I don't care about,
that.
and I was like, wow, these movies are awesome. Nightcrawler in X-Men 2.
Yeah, that's a great
scene
example.
stealer
Great
in the movie.
example.
Yeah, Nightcrawler was
That they
so
did that,
cool.
I was like, oh my god, this guy's incredible.
Prior to that movie, okay, he can teleport.
Yeah, he was a joke character to me.
Yeah, but then you saw how, you know, those powers could be, and that's what I'm talking about. They're now embracing the extension of what those powers really can, you know, achieve. Because in the day to day, it's like these people are ridiculous. They can't do all of it on the big screen. You wouldn't have a movie, but you need to embrace some of that.
You can make a whole story about just one character, literally. In
You
X-Men,
can,
and it'll be amazing because they have powers, things that we can't do.
Sort of pissed when they threw in Venom at the end. Oh, God. So you were talking about? Did you see the Captain America movies?
I did see that.
So what did you think about those movies, like compared to other things that you've seen? Because I mean,
I honestly liked it.
Have you seen all three?
I've seen 2 of them.
well, the third one is kind of
Civil War.
Civil War is kind of like, it is Captain America, but you kind of get lost in the Avengers as part of it, you know, because there's a lot of Avengers in it. Did you see Civil War?
Might have seen that.
That's the one where what's a good spoiler I could give him? They were jog his memory without spoiling it.
A good spoiler without being a spoiler?
You know what I'm saying? Something that could jog his memory without spoiling the movie.
Because I have a great one, but it's a spoiler.
All the Avengers and fighting against each other. Boom.
The airport fight.
Yeah.
Okay, with
Spider-Man. Boom.
Okay.
Did you see that?
That
one?
was the one I was trying to not give away.
What about the cat guy?
Yeah,
he was in there too.
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah.
So yeah.
Black Panther.
So what, of those 3 then, George? Did you? So which? How do I? I'm trying to get you to just taking the Captain America movies.
Yeah.
And you've seen the other X-Men movies, the other superhero movies, and all that. So how does it rank on your hierarchy of quality movies?
Well, me personally, man, I'm kind of easy to please, though.
Oh, okay. So, you're not really that involved with it. This is stuff from our childhood, so we're a little bit more.
I just like a lot of action and stuff like that.
I respect that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. So he made a comment about Thor and Hulk, right? So I don't think he.
Well, I know.
Hold on. I don't think you have an appreciation for how strong Thor is because the Hulk's strength has been sort of pushed down our throats as he is the guy when it comes to strength.
Yes.
But
Thor is. Thor though.
Don't sleep on my people.
Thor was made because of the Hulk. You know.
And.
That's ridiculous. Do you have to make a character just a counter character and put him on the same team?
It doesn't matter. So that means he's not as strong because he was made to be as strong.
And then you have a character that has raw strength, and then you have this guy who has a limit, and you're like, he can't beat him.
Hold on. What'd you say?
That's really why Thor was made, though.
I mean, I don't know what the hell.
It's not the complete reason.
That's his opinion.
The Avengers were made, and Thor was one of the Avengers, and it's like we have the Hulk, so let's make someone that
Thor
could
was
keep
around
him in
before
check.
the Avengers comic book. He had his own.
Yeah, but
stuff going out before.
Well, what I've looked up or found online is like Thor was there to keep the Hulk in check most of the time.
Keep him in check.
I'm like, that's stupid. Like,
well, I guess they overused him because Hulk was only in 2 issues. He was in Avengers 1 and Avengers 2.
What ends up happening with this guy, he
book.
gets this idea of what he thinks it is, and then he kind of he almost turns it into fact, even though it's really just his opinion. Because you heard what he just said. He was like, Thor was made to counter the Hulk. I don't think that's the case. That's how he feels about it, and that's fine.
It's a statement, but this doesn't mean it's a fact. I didn't say it was a fact.
Yeah, but the way you're saying is like,
well, I'm gonna back it up because I think it's true.
Thor is his own character in his own world in Asgard. I don't believe he was made as a counterpoint.
I don't either.
Hulk at all.
Me either.
Anything I've heard from Stan Lee and the other guys that have done the books back in the '60s, that was never a point. They're like, oh, we need somebody that counters the Hulk. There certainly would be ones that would be thrown
okay,
in.
so wait a minute, George. You follow the Hulk, right? So who was the character that made to? Who's his arch nemesis?
They didn't really do that. Stan Lee is really credited for this, and he's the one that's still alive. Jack Kirby and several other artists and people that worked with him on the stories.
It's funny hearing those old names. I haven't heard those names in so long. Well,
They
not
weren't
Stan Lee,
really
but Jack
thinking
Kirby.
in the terms that we do now. This was at the beginning when all this stuff was happening. So these are just characters being made. So Spider-Man was created. It wasn't like, well, he's a counterpoint. He's the depowered version of Superman. That wasn't. I mean, that might have been in the back of their mind as a thought when they were designing and thinking about the characters. But these are just characters they came up with. It's like, oh, let's make a character and put it out there and see what happens. And it just happened to take off. These superheroes are already established in the 30s and 40s.
The Hulk kind of reminds me of Godzilla in the sense that, Godzilla, some of his films, it was like he had to deal with the government and their armies. So it's like you got the Hulk out there, and
it's truly an amalgamation between the Frankenstein monster and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's really
okay. That makes sense.
When you piece all of what Stan has said
sense.
over the years, that's really what the Hulk was. He was intrigued by the Frankenstein's monster character and put that as a flaw to the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Brilliant, smart scientist that has this other side of him that turns into the Hulk. That was as base as it came out.
Why do you have a problem with somebody that has the potential to beat the Hulk?
I have a problem with someone who has a limit, who has a set physical strength, and to someone who doesn't have a limit with physical strength that we know of yet, and that it could beat the Hulk. I find that to be retarded.
I'll have to give you my Thor comic where they have the fight where Thor throws the hammer away because that's always been the great equalizer.
Well, there you go. Just tell him. Who cares? You don't know. Just tell him.
What happens?
Just school. Yeah, they want to.
I want to know what happens now.
You might not want to give him your comics either. He might leave it.
What? So Thor is
Maybe
that
I'll just have to look it up
powerful.
online.
Without the hammer, he's that powerful.
Not to get into a giant fanboy, but I'll do this quickly because I want to take up your entire podcast talking Hulk Thor. I liked in the 80s, Marvel put a number on everything. So you're able, and I'm very much analytical, so I like being able to quantify and number things out. So
remember we had the flip book with the encyclopedia of all the information?
Yes.
I missed that.
Giving you some
shit.
basic points. Spider-Man is 10-ton strength. The Thing is 80-ton strength. Juggernaut is 90. Thor is 100. Colossus is 90, 100. The original Green Hulk is 70. Starts at 70 and gets more powerful from there. They've upped the powers and the characters have changed over the years, so now the Green Hulk would be called 100. Mm-hmm. But when they analyzed it at the beginning, Green Hulk starts at 70, Thor starts at 100. More the fight goes on, Hulk gets stronger, other guys don't get stronger. You also add in Mjolnir, if we're enunciating it correctly, because that was always a thing for Spec in the 80s.
We should call Derek up and ask him what the name. How you say that?
I think he might agree with that. Mjolnir is very powerful and is the key to why Thor is able to beat up on the Hulk as easily as sometimes it appears to be in the comic books. Because Mjolnir, number-wise, lets Thor hit for 150-ton damage. So he would be able to take the Hulk out quicker than the Hulk's rage.
150 tons. Can you give us something that would be on the scale of that, just so we can?
I don't think.
Just an idea of like what's on the scale of that kind of weight.
Aircraft carriers, smaller ones, because I think depending on what's on them, they probably weigh even more than that. But an aircraft carrier.
God damn.
And he's done that. Hulk's pushed aircraft carriers out of his way to get to somebody. I mean, they're in the water, but just shoved them out of the way and continued moving. He's had a moving train, a locomotive hit him, and he just turned around and got annoyed and then picked it up and dropped it onto Thor. I don't know if that's physically possible because he only.
Well, it's just all fake. So
right? No, I'm just saying. Just even in the Marvel world, I'm like, okay. I think you guys go a little over the top of some of that stuff. But to make it more simple, the Abomination, when you're asked about a character to counter the Hulk, the Abomination was created as a counterpoint to the Hulk. A guy that wanted Banner's strength, but bars himself with more gamma radiation than Banner was hit with, and the Abomination starts at 100. So he's more powerful than the Hulk. And their first fight, he takes Hulk by surprise, as Hulk's not expecting Slade to be as powerful as he is, and he literally pummels the Hulk and knocks him out. Literally on the pages, the Hulk is laying there on the ground, knocked out. First fight with the Abomination. Hulk loses. So he's not this all-powerful thing that we want to make him into being now. They've certainly done that in recent years now. They've started just up it, and they don't let people punch him and knock him out. But that's long and short of it. That's why. Thor himself is powerful, and then you add in Mjolnir. Mjolnir is ridiculous. Mjolnir might, to some extent, be more powerful than Thor because of its magical enchantments.
Yeah,
technically.
So, but what about this Hulk and his strength and his ability to basically become incalculable when it comes to his rage and strength? And this will be the last thing we talk about with that. But do you know how long it takes and what the process is? And because ultimately,
they've never been able to define that. They did for the Marvel Superheroes role-playing game. And the guys had different, basically in quarter increments. So 25 ton, 50, 75, 100. And then you had Shift X, Shift Y, Shift Z, which I think jumped to 150. Don't quote me. People would fact check me. I'm going to get the number wrong. Shift Y maybe is 300, and then Shift Z is 500. And it starts jumping up. Then it goes to cosmic numbers. The Hulk in the role-playing game shifted from the 7500 and then would shift around, which was crazy. So he would be one round, when you're first fighting him, he's hitting you for 75 points of damage at 75 ton strength. The next round, he's madder, he's hitting you for 100. Then all of a sudden, he jumps to 150. Then all of a sudden, he jumps to 300. Then he jumps to 500.
And in the game, that's happening in rounds.
Right, and that's happening in rounds.
So that's quickly.
I don't believe that happens that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it's anywhere near that speed.
Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere near that speed.
So
he also does not get tired. That was the plus. The Thing was a counterpoint in Fantastic Four. He was the big brute guy that the Hulk fights initially, and the Thing is a brawler. That was his thing. He's known for physical brawling and fighting. But battling the Hulk for like 5 or 10 minutes, he's noticing the Hulk's getting stronger while they're going on, and he's not getting tired. Thing's huffing and puffing. He's like, does this guy get tired? And he feels like he's stronger than ever. I'm trying to hit him with everything but the kitchen sink, and he's just not stopping. So that was the early days of you really can't take him in a physical one-on-one contest.
I don't want to get too much into it. We could do a whole thing on Marvel stuff, but the scene where the Hulk is fighting Iron Man in the Hulkbuster armor.
I thought you might bring that up.
Here's the thing about that, right? Tony Stark is a man, right? He's got the armor on. The armor's no joke and all that, but he, like, the whole time I'm like, if the Hulk gets one finger on him in any way, he's fucked. So that's what I'm thinking the whole time. Like, he's gonna die. He gotta get his shit together for real.
When he gets punched and goes flying through the air and hits the ground, I'm like, doesn't he like turn into mush inside?
I don't. It's fine because they wouldn't have a movie, but the whole time, I'm like watching him tear the armor up, and I'm like, if he gets in there, all that damn brains ain't gonna mean shit. He's gonna tear that ass up.
I very much enjoyed the go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yeah, that was awesome. That
technically should have happened at the beginning of the fight. You can't fight him for like 2 minutes and then go to do that as he did. But he is trying to get in like, okay, let me do enough damage to him before he gets angry to knock him out. So that was cool. It just should have been like the first thing he did.
Yeah.
Got in that fist and got on and went over and immediately like, okay, let's do this right now.
So were you satisfied with that scene as a Hulk fan? Did you feel like it was, they gave Hulk enough and they gave Tony enough that you believed that could happen the way it did?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
I was totally fine with that.
Cue the outro right here. Any last words?
The outro. Thank you for listening. We'll eventually be able to tell you to tune in at another time, but until we figure that out, bye.